Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar. Ching, ching, bling, bling. Cut the chatter. You ain't
What they do? How's it going, Nelly? Good ass show. Good ass show. I'm trying to log in on Twitch on my. I'm trying to log back into Twitch through Streamlabs, and it's being difficile. There we go. There we go. What's going on, Joker? What's going on, Nelly? Welcome in, gentlemen. How is quality? Are we dropping? I'm trying vertical on Twitch, which is kind of weird. And the last time I tried to do it, it made me turn on enhanced broadcasting, and it was kind of like stuttery and shit. So just let me know. How's it going, Drew? What it do? What it do?
I might be too strung out on compliments, overdosed on confidence. Started not to give a fuck and stop fearing the consequence. Drinking every night because we drink to my accomplishments. Faded way too long, I'm floating in and out of consciousness, and they saying I'm back. I'd agree with that. I just take my time with all this shit, I still believe in that. I had someone tell me I fell off, ooh, I needed that. And they wanna see me pick back up, well, where'd I leave it at? I know I exaggerated things, now I got it like that. Tuck my napkin in my shirt cause I'm just mobbing like that. You know good and well that you don't want a problem like that. You gon' make...
What? That's not what that's supposed to be. There we go. There's me. Hello. Welcome. How we doing? I'm going to turn some music on because what we're doing is fairly talking based. I need to pull up my facts. Nightbot is useful, but not... Okay, this one. Thank you. Alright, and now, are you going to work? Okay. So that's super stretched out. There we go. Can y'all read that, though, is another question that I have. Because being able to read it is definitely important. If considering how we're doing like world building and stuff like that, you being like actually able to like read what's there and like shit. Probably. So maybe I could zoom in. Okay. So I think what I'll do for you guys is just zoom in. If it'll let me. Yeah, there we go. Is that better? Did that work better? And then for vertical, I can do that, and that'll make it better for vertical viewers. There we go. Okay, you can kind of see. I am going to try and respond to chat as much as possible, but I am bouncing between Discord and multiple Google documents and stuff like that, trying to figure some stuff out. How are we all doing? Happy Friday? Is that what today is? Today's Friday? Yeah. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope you're all having a wonderful start to your possible weekend. We are doing some world building for the D&D actual play campaign that we've got planned between a lot of content creators and some of my D&D friends that I've had for a long time. I'm not as far as I'd like to be, but I usually have that problem when it comes to D&D. I don't think I'm as far as I need to be. For anybody who is also going to be playing in the campaign, I am in the Discord. So if you have any questions, if you have any input that you want to add, if you have anything like that, consider it a free talking space. I don't care. You can come in and join, come in and chat. We can chop shit up. You can help with whatever I'm doing. It's all fine with me. But there's about 15 of us. It's going to be spread across 3 different parties. One of those parties will be twice a week, or will be twice a month, and then the other ones, as of right now, will be 4 times a month. We've got some interesting things that can happen with it from kind of just what I've gathered. We've got one that's going to be very, I don't want to say very, but more talking and discussion and political intrigue based, where when it finally gets to combat or gets to a situation where we're going to be rolling initiative, it's been something that we've been trying to not have happen, or something that we've been building towards, because it's, you know, like a last ditch effort, or the only way that we're going to get whatever we're trying to do done, something like that. We've got another one that's going to be very just classic D&D, where we're adventuring, we're clearing dungeons, we're going and finding loot, we're, you know, going and being an adventuring party. And then the other one is going to be very like world exploration, and kind of the vibe that we've kind of put together for them so far is more like an archaeological dig team, where they're going and finding ancient ruins and like fighting things lost from the past and finding old relics and shit like that. Which has been pretty cool to plan out. Obviously in planning a lot of that world building and stuff like that, in planning a lot of that party culture and how things are actually going to work per table, there's a lot of world building that has to go into it. And the problem that I've had recently is I want to stream, but I don't really know how streaming like a Google Doc with me just talking and like trying to walk people through my thought process, I don't really know how well that'll do. But at the end of the day, I don't necessarily care. I feel like there might be a better category I could put myself in, instead of like just chatting, maybe like the actual play, or the tabletop RPGs and board games tab. But that's not completely what I'm doing right now, so I'm not sure. I do also want to make sure that quality is good, because like this shit is bothering me. Okay, so we're not dropping frames. We're good here. Cool. That was probably terrible, like really bad echo for y'all. My bad. But right now we are working on the region of Nambadir. Nambadir, I can pull up the map. So everybody kind of see what we're working with. This is, I can honestly probably get a bigger version of it pulled up. Yeah, there we go. So this is the region of Astur, which is the eastern hemisphere, the eastern part of the world. We have my buddy Seth. His character is actually coming from Briersden, and he has DM experience himself. So he is actually doing all of the creation for Briersden. So it's going to be a little bit of a surprise for me what that place is actually going to be, because we've talked about it. We've had a few conversations about like what we both think about it and kind of the vibe that he's given and I've given for it. But as far as what it actually is, that's completely him. I have done the Greylands, which is a fairly interesting place in my opinion, and is actually a jump-off point for a second continent that is above it. And that is the northern region of the world. And then we have Degeris, which is a place that I have also gotten done. This is a very trade-heavy, arcane magic, very school of magic and colleges of magic, and different like smithing and artisans and stuff like that will be ever present here. And there is another continent on the other side of it. This is technically an island, and then detached from it, and then over to the left will be a second continent from there. How's it going, DK? Welcome in. Intros are on, y'all. So if you want to see your intro videos that got made, all you gotta do the exclamation point and whatever the fuck, and you should be good there. We're working on Nombadir now, just because I'm kind of trying to work my way through in like a circular pattern through the map. I've seen that clip so many times. Making that video earlier, I was just like, damn. Hope you're doing well, brother. What's going on, Nelly? Welcome back. Welcome back. At work for another 30 and in the gym. Yeah, it is almost 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I didn't realize how much of the day had gone by. I got lost in that Nelly B show. I'm not gonna lie. I was playing Minecraft and just listened to that because Tay had a lot of information that I was actually interested in. Like she's a Twitch partner and I want to be a Twitch partner, so I was like, I'm finna listen. So thank you, Nelly, for giving me the opportunity to listen to a Twitch partner speak. I appreciate you. Good show. You do great. You do good things. But no, we are working on Nombadir right now, and I have a fairly interesting idea for Nombadir. And then Tento and Talone are the twin cities. I don't have a lot planned out for them, but they are actually super important. It was a vibe. Like I was listening to it on my way to the store, and I was like, damn, I lose reception about halfway to the store. This is gonna suck. I'm gonna miss like 15 minutes of it. And then I lost reception on my way back as well. So I missed like 30 minutes out of the whole thing, but I had it on the whole time I was meal prepping. I had it on while I was down here playing Minecraft, deciding if I was gonna stream this or if I was gonna stream Minecraft. I plan on doing both today. But I needed to get world building stuff done. You know what I'm saying? Like I need to work on this, but I also need to stream. So I was like, I'm gonna do both and see if it works. And then we can do Minecraft later tonight and whatever else we end up getting into. I don't work tomorrow, so I'm good until whenever. But I should ask more questions, so I feel like I missed a lot. I mean, I think that's just the way, like I took journalism classes, so I think that's just the way the interviewer is like, always make sure to prep and write down the most important questions that you think can ask, but you're always going to have questions that come up through conversation, because especially with the answers that she was giving, dog, there was a lot of really interesting answers that she gave to a lot of the questions that chat was asking and that you were asking, where it was just like, well, damn, now that I know that you think like that, like, what about this? You know, like, what if I slide this across the table? Like, what are you thinking about that now? And now we're having a completely different conversation than what we were actually like sitting down to do. And so, I mean, I definitely think that's just like the way of the journalist. You're always going to have questions that you feel like you could have asked, but I think the questions you did ask in the moment were pretty damn good. I'm streaming Minecraft tonight if I'm not too dead from the gym. Nah, fuck that. Stream Minecraft anyway. Go to the gym, then stream. Make sure you eat something decent for yourself. I had a salad for lunch, and I'm drinking a Celsius now. And shower, yeah. Wash your ass, especially if you go into the gym, dog. Wash that ass. Gotta make sure to keep yourself clean, brother. But no, we got Tento and Talone, which are actually very wrapped up in one of the Thursday table will be taking place in Talone mainly, for at least the beginning of it. And so getting those two done is a pretty big deal, and they also have to be way more fleshed out than all the other places where it's like, oh, well, we might go there at some point, or the story will take us there at this point, maybe, or if somebody decides they want to go there, or if something comes up and they're just like, we need to go there, that gives me like that week before to really plan out the other places and get those fleshed out. But like, we'll be starting in Talone, we'll be starting in Ephodon. There are set places that are automatically going to have to be more planned out, and in complete honesty, Tento and Talone kind of intimidate me because I have this idea of the Twin Cities and how they're going to be, and I have this picture that I've started painting, but I don't know necessarily how to completely get it into words. And I'm worried that in fleshing it out and figuring it out, I'm actually going to like change kind of the vision that I've got for them, and I don't know how much I'm willing to change for the vision of them. But I struggle when doing these things to just like let the freedom of creativity go and not keep it all in a box, which is something that I've been trying to do in creating this world, is really just kind of like letting it flow out of me. Don't want to smell you through the screen. Facts. Showers are important, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. Showers are important. You gotta shower. Just let it flow. Don't hold back. Exactly. We've also got K Ridge and Hasfield. These are intentionally like smaller, like so K Ridge, think like Timu Dejaris is kind of what K Ridge is. There are really harsh waters to the south of Talone and K Ridge, so they get like tsunamis and hurricanes and stuff pretty consistently. There's arcane magic in Talone and Tento that kind of prevents them from being affected by those like natural weather events and stuff like that. But even if they're really bad, they can still affect them. But K Ridge obviously is lower population, lower income, lower economy, so they don't necessarily have the magical and the arcane presence and capability of holding up wards and runes like that would protect their cities from those coastal winds and those coastal rains and all that shit. So they are a little bit more damaged, a little bit like way smaller, more farming orientated, fishing boats and stuff like that. And then Hatsfield is just far enough away from the shore proper to where they're able to actually like grow crops and stuff like that. So while these are two different places, they're very much symbiotic in the way that they are related to each other. Because if one of them, so when K Ridge is bad, like when Storm comes in, K Ridge gets hit, they're down. Hasfield has to pick up the slack so that the entire southern tip of this continent doesn't fall off into poverty, because they provide meats and crafting and the things that you can't get in Hasfield. And Hasfield provides grain and farm animals and like hides and stuff like that because they're farther inland and there's more wildlife. So they are a very symbiotic set of two cities. We've got Vuitton, which is going to be, I think the plan for Vuitton is to be a very elven heavy kind of like, so Ephodon is the capital of this area of the world, and there's 3 families. There's a bunch of stuff that we can get into when it comes to Ephodon, but Ephodon is the main capital of this part of the world. It's the epicenter and the focal point of everything. The main events of the region are going on in Ephodon. The best of the best are usually in Ephodon. Obviously, you've got your hidden gems that are lying around everywhere, small towns, shit like that. But most well-known names are in Ephodon. And Vuitton, I've kind of pictured as like, you can live in Denver, but you live in like the nicer part of Denver, in like one of those like little cul-de-sacs with a different name, and it's like a whole city in itself, and it's just nice houses with rich people. That's kind of what I'm thinking Vuitton is. And then I'm thinking Asamant is the exact opposite and is more like, there's obviously thieves guilds and there's going to be like underground dens and stuff like that in Ephodon, for all types of like underground work and and like stealing and different like networks for thieves and rogues and all types of shit. I plan on Osmont kind of being like the more worker related kind of like, this is the working class of Ephodon and this is where they live, and they don't even live in Ephodon. And so kind of like the commute from going here, and you've got the different keeps and stuff that are going to be along the way. But the plan is for this to kind of be like the working class and the people who make Ephodon run in the background, and this being the higher class, more wealthy, kind of stuck up, head in the clouds, higher society group of people, which would also put these people as the wealthiest in this region, because if they're the wealthiest in Ephodon and Ephodon's the biggest, then they're the wealthiest in the region. Right now we are working on Nambadir, which if we zoom in, whoa, if we zoom in, can I zoom in more? It's kind of just the corner of this map, which is sad. But it is the picture I've got for it at the moment, and what I've kind of got written down for it already. It started off as a volcano and humidity-ravaged swampland, thick stew-like mud and still hardening obsidian forming the bedrock and stone that makes up a lot of the surface of this region. Nambadir was a battlefield in the war between Bane, the god of strife, hatred, tyranny, and fear, and Klengden Silverbeard, battle, war, valor, bravery, and honor in battle. This war rivaled the war in the Greylands, brutality and destruction of the lands. Its end came when Klangden finally defeated Bane after what is predicted to be more than 1,000 years of fighting on the coast of Nambadir. Where Bane fell, a massive volcano rose from the ground, molten earth and lava rushing across the waters and the land. The people named this Tyranny's Fall. On the day of unification, Klangden would join Ao on the ruling pantheon of RuneKafel, choosing to rule over dwarves in honor in battle. He would also choose this. Because obviously if there's molten earth and lava and obsidian and stuff like that, if we're going through a pretty not great living circumstance as far as the environment and the ground that we're walking on, then it's gonna be a little harder to live. I think one thing that I've tried pretty hard to do is attach at least one or two gods to everywhere. Just so that whenever we're there's an easy thing for me to be like, oh, well, worshippers of this, because this is the deity who blessed this land, or this is one of the deities who fought here, or whatever. So it was pretty easy for me with Klangden Silverbeard, because I already planned on Nambadir being a very dwarf and halfling heavy area. My idea is kind of, so if you look at the map, and I should probably just keep the map pulled up. But if you look at the map, Tento and Talone are very congested and compact in the way that their architecture has kind of been put together. And there's not generally a lot of farmland. But with the destruction of the earth in the past that Nambadir has experienced, there really isn't much farmable land there either. So my plan and kind of the idea was like Tento and Talone are very economic heavy, trade heavy places. Tento being the main one because everything coming from Nambadir and Tento and going to Dejaris and going to Ephodon and going to Briar's Den, they are much closer to safe water, considering how the bad weather usually happens right around this area technically, but closer to Talone and K-Ridge. It doesn't usually make it up to Tento and into Ephodon. So kind of like there are times where Talone has to send their trade charters and their ships and their goods through Tento because the waters near Talone are just unsafe and could shift and take down the boats or do whatever. So they are kind of like the trade epicenter of this part of the world. Dejaris being right across the water from them, travel and trade is super easy with the like market leader of this region. So they are obviously better connected than Talone, which would have to make a many-day journey just to get there. They're connected to Briar's Den. Briar's Den has got a whole lot of things going on with it. So having a connection and being closer to them, obviously more important. The idea behind Nambadir is kind of that they've always been a working class, coming home a sweaty mess and not showering. Fuck that. Yeah, no, fuck all that. And fishing boats, indeed. We will be having fishing boats. Just because you gotta have fishing boats. So the kind of the idea is because of the damage, because of the fact that farming isn't easy because they can't do as much to actually like provide for themselves as far as like necessities. They have clean water obviously because of the coast, but the farther inland you get, the farther away from the coast you get, so that becomes a problem. There's not much farmland, so they can't grow food. There's not much wildlife because wildlife is attracted to natural greenery and stuff like that. So the wildlife that is here, harder to kill, not edible, things like that. So Talone and Tento have kind of leveraged the fact that Nambadir relies on them for like food, clean water at times. And because of that, trade prices suck for Nambadir when it comes to Tento and Talone, because we have to provide you with, yada yada. We give you wheat and cow and all of these things at this price, so we expect your smith goods or stone or whatever is being imported from or exported from Nambadir towards them. They want it at a lower rate because the things that they are providing for Nambadir are a necessity, and Nambadir is providing things that are either able to be gotten from somewhere else at a slightly higher price or, whatever. So they've kind of always been kept in the, not shadows, but like kept on the back burner as far as like high society and political importance, and have always just kind of been looked more at as like a worker city state. And with the main populace being dwarves and halflings and stuff like that, fits D&D lore slightly that they would be, more workers and stuff I actually went through the idea of Nambadir being a prison, like the whole region just being one big prison. But I actually have a different idea for something like that, and kind of like an Alcatraz Island situation. But it would have to make sense for that place to actually, like, there would have to be a reason for there to be this massive island where we send all of the bad people in the world. Because from a D&D standpoint, that really just looks like a convenient way to have my party fight a bunch of people who could possibly kill them and throw them through a meat wringer, or a meat grinder, when that's not completely what I'm trying to do. So, I think that's not the right place. There we go. There are different ways of taking like notes and preparing and stuff like that. I find the best way for me, when doing at least world building, as far as like this is the place, is reading it in a like historical pattern, to where it's just like, this is the story of how it founded and what was going on before recorded history. This is a brief recorded history of some important events that have happened. This is the climate. This is the trade. This is the economy. Like, this is the, again, it's kind of just reading down in that list of like founding, things that have happened, what's important here. And then, so for like the Greylands, you'll see, oh yeah, I definitely do have multiple tabs of this open. I forgot about that. But like, it's the southern tip of Akrar, which is the northern region of the world. But we've got the founding and the origin. This is actually the time scale for the entire world, and I think it only exists on this, or no, it exists on that one too. Okay. But like, you've got the First War, the War of the Grey Pact, and then you've got the Abrari Rebellion, Dodd's Awakening, the Brokil conflict, and then the Akshad migration. And then what life is like here, kind of like what the economy and lifestyle of people and who you can find and what you can find in the area. And then down here, after that, after the whole region has been made, I'll then go through and make like one or two cities or important places, and maybe like have a pre-prepped dungeon, or have a pre-prepped adventure that's just like, oh well, if they get here and they don't have anything to do, this is a storyline in this place. Because I don't want at any point for us to get to a part of the world and it feel like it's just been waiting for them. I'm very big on things that are happening in other parts of the world impacting the things that are going on. And we're only in the Eastern continent, so the whole world isn't where we'll be playing. So at some point through the campaign, there can be trade delegations and things going on a completely different continent that none of them know about, but I know about, and those can be enacted and those can come into place. And then on our Thursday party, that thing can be, we've got a character who's trying to negotiate for better trade prices and trying to get trade in a new city or a new continent or a new region, and because of something that this other city did across the world, that now is going to cost more, or those waters are now inaccessible and they're not safe to travel. Or there's a war being fought there now. And then Friday, that exact same thing, they could be fighting in that war. They could be much closer to where the things are actually happening. And now they've got to figure out how to get out, or how to help, or how to turn the tide. And then Saturday, they can be far as hell away from all of it and just kind of hear the rumors of like, oh, well, did you hear what this kingdom did? Or like, did you hear about the battle of wherever? So it's kind of just like the idea that the world is very much happening around them. They are impacting a lot of it, and they are changing the way that things are going and working towards whatever their common goal is. I can't say greater good because that might not be the case, but whatever their common goal is, and go from there. Because I don't want it to feel like when you walk up to a merchant in Baldur's Gate and they haven't left or done anything since the last time you talked to them. I'm very big on stuff like that, so as easy as possible as I can make it on my end to have those things not pre-planned but like pre-prepped, or have a designated place for those notes or those things to go. It's usually much easier, for me anyway. How's it going, Stone? Welcome in, brother. It's going. It is going. How are you? D&D time? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You gonna eat a Taco Bell? Hopefully your stomach doesn't hurt later, big dog. I hope you didn't just fuck your shit up because you ate Taco Bell. That shit sounds delicious. It always does. It very rarely is. And they got rid of them Chipotle chicken grillers. You know, I got a problem with that too. Let me stop before I start sounding like Nelly. I just got a problem. I don't like they got rid of the fucking chicken grillers, just to be honest with you. Them shits was fire. And they was cheap. I'm sitting on the shitter right now. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah, I know you are. I know you are. That's a damn shame. Ooh. See, this is where I do not have the brain for like off the dome thinking. I can't say that. I don't have the brain for off the dome like this is the name of a druid clan. Like, yeah, my brain doesn't attach words to that. So I will very commonly just like druid clan names. And this fantasy names generator website, I've used this for years. I've used this for years. It's a lifesaver. It helps me so incredibly much. I cannot stress it. Genuinely. But I'm thinking if we have like a druid grove here. Druid clan? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we have like a druid grove that's in Nambadir that like their whole thing was to restore and recover the world from the damages that like Bane caused upon them, because like he quite literally baned the land when he died. He summoned the volcano still bubbles with lava, makes it hard, like makes it to where wildlife don't want to be there. The wildlife that are there, like wyvern, shit like stuff that's hard to kill and like dangerous. So, kind of thinking like we have this druid grove. I'm blaming the bitches for my issues if I find them. Aren't you a druid? You ain't gonna hit them with the "What's up, cousin"? Because that's how druids act. In my usually, there's tension. They can have a lot of tension. They can go back and forth a lot, but it's usually like we are one, we are family. You can do whatever you want. You get RP your story, and we can go with it. But what they do to you? What the vagabond grove do to you, brother? Rad with the raid. What's going on? Welcome in. It's a Radcore raid. Warm weather druids ain't having it. That's great. They're your rival druid. I kind of fuck with that. They're a rival druid clan because they like they live in a swamp and you live in the icy. Rab with the resub as well. Welcome home, brother. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good stream. If you gotta go feed them kids, get some water, go to the bathroom, do whatever you gotta do. I appreciate you. Don't be scared to leave. Welcome in, everybody. If you don't know who I am, I'm User Unknown. We are doing something new today because I've wanted to stream, but I also have a lot of D&D world building that I need to do. And I've been hesitant to try and stream it because I don't know if it'll actually like catch on at all or if people would actually be interested in seeing any of it. But this is us planning for the world of RuneKafel, which is going to be the world that a actual play series that me and like 15 other people have planned. A lot of content creators, a lot of Twitch streamers, a lot of people who y'all know are going to be involved. We are currently working on a dwarven or a region of dwarves, halflings, elves, and humans, and orcs mainly, called Nambadir. We got a little bit planned out about it. Hopefully you stick around. If you don't, I completely understand. Rab was going for like 6 hours, so a lot of y'all probably need to go to the bathroom, eat something, drink something, do whatever you got to do. Thank you for stopping by. Lick's belly is crazy. But how are we doing? Also, once again, for anybody who is involved in the campaign or anything like that, I am in the creative corner. So if anybody has any ideas, any questions that they want to ask, don't be scared to join. Don't be scared to hop in just because I'm live. It's all fine. It's good. They don't like the cold weather druids because their relative solitude and no inter-druid communication up there makes them come across as not being fully connected with the world or something. That's very Newfoundland, actually. I like that, Drew. I like that. We all got $9. I got $9.
Are you winning, son?
I'm playing. I'll say that. I am playing. I don't know if I'm winning, but I am playing. Alright, so let's get this Druid Grove name. I'm here just cooking. What you cooking? What you cooking? Hey, appreciate that shout out. Whoever gave Rad a shout out. We also actually no, Rad doesn't have an intro because he never sent me the character or the song, so never mind. He doesn't have one. Sorry, not sorry. I am sorry actually. Just a little bit. But it's not my fault. You didn't give me the information that I needed, so I can't do anything if you don't give me what I need, you know what I'm saying? That's just how it works. I'll make the rules, brother. I got you tonight. Word. The order of regrowth. The grove of regrowth. That's a little wordy. It ain't corn dogs, I know that. That's crazy. I was listening to his stream. Yeah.
Oh my god, I hate it here. I'm leaving.
I hate it here. I'm leaving. Circle of Blooms. I don't hate the Circle of Blooms. Some of these are trash. Like, genuinely. Some of these are bad. You know what I'm saying? The Blooming Circle. I like that. I like that. I like that one. We're going with that one. What was it? The Growing Circle? The Golden Circle? The Blooming Circle? At some point, I'm gonna need to make a key for what all these different highlighted things are as well, because I keep having to like go back to different shit to remember. Like blue is names, red is events. I think orange is events that are happening locally. Yellow is like gods and important shit. Bunch of dog trotters is what they really are. Bog trotters? Dyslexia whooped my ass there. That was live. Live in 4K, Dyslexia got my ass. Starting off selling small crabs. Okay. So I think that orange or that blue is probably going to be our best bet. And then I need this. Why is it a different? Don't piss me off. There we go. I don't know why it's a different font, but I just noticed it. It's going to drive me insane. Okay. So just for anybody who's actually interested, the time scale that we're kind of going with is similar to like a an AD and a BC for history. So like BR is RBC, so before record, so at least 1,000 or at least 1,000 years before record. BR1 is the year that Ao blessed the city of Epidon and the three families, unifying them under his guidance. And then everything after that is AU, after unification, referring to the unification of the holy city of Epidon. Bunch of I don't know if you're pasting in anything at all, but Control Shift V is a lifesaver for keeping everything consistent. I've pasted in a couple of things like the gods and like their pantheon for like spelling and stuff like that. I did that, but I haven't really copy or pasted anything else. And I want to say, yep, that is what we were doing. Cool. So, Dwarven name generator. Cobalt Finger is a cool ass last name. It pastes without its original formatting, so it goes into your phone already. Hell yeah. That's sick. Hella useful, actually. I don't like the wording of that. Hold on. I feel like was founded. It's probably better. During the year of unification. '20 stream watch streak is crazy. Especially with how inconsistent I've been recently. 20 stream watch streak is crazy. I'm up to 116 on rad cores. Holy shit. I have to buy ammo tonight? Yeah, you have to kill a fucking wildcat or some shit, right? There was some big ass thing that you said you were gonna have to fucking kill. I just cannot remember what it was. It was some wildlife though. Some wildlife. German Shepherd. Oh damn, that's sad. See, I thought you were talking about a fucking cougar on stream. I know that the neighbor's dog had done some fuck shit too. And I had heard you talking about that briefly. See him in the ending phase of my chickens. Oh. R.I.P. them chickens. R.I.P. them chickens. Fucking housing. We need housing. It's so hot, bro. It's 80 degrees here. And they're talking about it's hot outside, and I'm just like, nah. No. I don't need any of that. I don't want any of that shit. I don't want any of the AI made stuff. I just want the name, please. It's not as hot, but I'm still fucking hot. I'm in a basement. The earth cooling me down right now, baby. I'm hungry. Go fucking eat something. Take care of yourself, damn it. Go eat. Drink some water. Do something. Can we eat Ragcore? He might be into that, bro. He might. Y'all remember Austin Powers? He might be. You know what I'm saying? Like, he might be into that. 80 degrees isn't hot as hell. Bro, I grew up in Arkansas. 80 degrees is a crisp summer day. That shit ain't that bad. Oven or microwave corn dogs? Air fried. Easy answer. That shit is that bad for me? Hell no. No, sir. 80 degrees ain't shit. Ain't shit. Eminem was low-key killing it with this one. I'm just gonna let y'all know. Deep fried corn dogs are S-tier gourmet dogs. 80 degrees is Christmas weather at this point. You know, depending on where you live, you really ain't lying. Mom said it was 123 in Death Valley. It was Death Valley. That's where they send people whenever they're like, I like hot weather. I like it when it's hot outside. Okay. Bet. Let me send you to Arizona real quick. Let's see how much you like that shit then. Hot ass barren wasteland. LSU Stadium? I believe it. Dream, get the fuck. It's 84 degrees and one of the hottest days of the year so far. I'm about to go out there and feel like I'm in an oven. I'll probably die in USA besides Alaska. I want to go to Alaska so bad. So bad, bro. I want to go to Alaska so bad. So fucking bad. Wife wants to go on a cruise there. Alaska fishing trip. I'm not completely against it. The Alaskan cruise, yeah, I've heard of it. There's a couple of different ones that they do. Some of them look really cool. Let's do a fishing trip. I don't even know if I want like winter or like fall or fucking summer. Either way, I don't care. I don't. You the reason why I can't read every message that gets sent into my chat. All right. You with hot sauce that's a good ass call out though. If y'all only eat hot dogs with hot sauce, you're missing out. I'm not gonna lie. Hot sauce on everything, personally. Hot dogs and craft dinner is the ultimate combo. Listen. Hot dogs and mac and cheese, top tier, S tier, 10 out of 10, struggle meal. I don't care. I ate that shit as a kid so often. It was a delicacy. You just raw dog and spicy dong. You know, when I got on this stream today, I felt inspired to like push for partner and like come back completely. And I was just like, I'm here. Now I remember why I go away the way that it ain't y'all fault. Let me not blame y'all for that. But still, y'all just be saying some crazy shit. I'm just trying to be a good streamer. Read comments, read messages, make y'all feel engaged. And now I'm getting out here saying outlandish shit that could definitely get used against me in a court of law at some point. I hate breaded glam. What are we doing here? What the fuck is this? I prefer hot dogs over corn dogs. This shit is nasty and reminds me of the struggle food. But do you get corn dogs at like the fair or the carnival? Like, do you get them there? Because that's the only time I really eat them now. I don't eat them at home. Like, mini corn dogs be hitting. But, like, a corn dog? Fuck no. But, like, at the fair, them big-ass ones, with, like, they kind of hit. It's the first hurdle to making it. Getting past that the outlandish shit. Nah, because, honestly, I don't eat corn dogs. Is it be honest with me, Nelly. Is it because of how you have to eat them? Is it because of how it looks when you eat them? Is that why? I'm not in the trenches no more. We don't. Okay, so it's just because it was dead ass a struggle food. I feel that. I feel there's certain like there's certain things that I don't eat anymore because I'm just like we ain't that broke no more. We don't have to eat that. But I always got that shit in the back of my head where I'm like, shit get hard, these corn dogs can be hitting, but barbecue styles, we good, baby. But no, it's personally my preference is that y'all don't go nowhere because I fuck with y'all. I like y'all. So once I get to that point where I'm like, hey, I'm a Twitch partner, I still want y'all to be there. So the outlandish shit ain't going nowhere. And I can't even say I'm going to be the most outlandish partner on Twitch because Kai Cenat exists. And I think I could maybe not be Kai as far as outlandish, but I could probably like be somewhere on a scale that I'm not on already, because I'm on a couple of them. The girth of them is crazy. I'm still struggling. That's facts. I don't eat struggle food no more. I mean, technically same, really, because like I eat the same shit every day, damn near. Like it's every other day I eat the exact same thing. So it's not really a struggle food. You feel me? Because I mean, but it's not what I was eating when I was struggling, so I can't call it a struggle food. It's not mayo sandwiches, you know. It's not fucking or mayo and cheese sandwiches and shit. My dad used to eat that stuff, bro. That shit's so gross. Me too. My food not struggling. Just me. All right, so we came up with this guy's name. Sometimes struggle food just hits in the way that other foods can't. Exactly. Ain't nothing like eating something you ate when you were broke, when you got money in your account. And you're just like, damn, I'm eating this by choice, not because it's the only thing I got. We up. Shit still tastes like the struggle. I don't know, man. Like I don't eat ramen anymore because I'm just like I don't. It's full of carbs and it's not good for you. So, but a good little bowl of ramen be hitting, bro. Hitting. Noodles not a struggle food. Ramen is the go-to struggle food. What the fuck are you talking about? Them shits is 29 cents a fucking package. Still, with inflation. It's the ultimate struggle food. You ain't got nothing in the pantry. You got a ramen packet. You can turn it into a delicacy. You know, put some egg or cheese or whoever the fuck. I personally don't put cheese or egg in mine, but you can do whatever you want. You can put egg, cheese, spicy mayo. There's people who put like chives and a whole bunch of other shit. You could be putting like actual meats and stuff in there. You could like that's when you actually get to like real ramen. I'm not a big egg person. Like I just don't like eggs very much, so I don't put eggs in there. I also think that the cheese makes it like really weird textured, and I got a little bit of the tism, so it's not don't fuck up the texture of the food like that. I don't like my shit feeling like goopy noodle. I like crisp noodles, slurpable shit. I have also done the instant ramen pack with the seasoned poured in and then crushed up and shaken up. That also a struggle snack in my opinion. Like especially when motherfuckers started putting Kool-Aid in it. What are we doing? Why are we putting Kool-Aid in this? Yeah, I remember when people were repairing shit with ramen, taking whole ass ramen blocks and fixing their couch with it. What the fuck are we doing? Yeah, bruh. I don't know if that was just a ghetto South thing, but yeah, we was putting Kool-Aid in that shit. Grape, strawberry, watermelon, like all that shit. Every flavor. I had charcoalberry crunch. All right, I had charcoalberry punch ramen one time. Dry, in the fucking package, a little bit of water, crunch that shit up, mix it up. Do that. Yeah. It's an experience. I think the candy lady sold them shits actually. You could get your little styrofoam cup full of like super sugary Kool-Aid that got frozen. That was always hitting. Them was the shit. She sold candy bars. She sold lollipops. She sold fuck. What did she sell? She had ramen packets which was a little weird. But it's like she knew we were doing the ramen packets with the Kool-Aid, so she started selling that stuff. She had the little Ritz crackers with peanut butter and stuff like that. It was like 25 cents for everything. I miss being a kid so bad. Does Candy Lady culture still exist? Is that still a thing? I hope it is. It's gotta be, right? It's gotta be. I hope so. It's probably more expensive. Probably a lot more expensive. Okay, so we're good there. Founding of the Blooming Circle. Hmm. 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 I like that. What just happened? Okay. Okay. La la la. So I'm thinking that this right here is going to be a like dwarven forge in the side of the volcano, using the active volcano as the heat source to melt the metals and like as the actual forge itself. Um, and this is the I'm creating a history of a world that doesn't exist. So there's a lot of pieces and shit like that you have to kind of come up with and create and piece together on the fly. But so far I'm fucking with it because I've had the a little bit of a vision for Nombadir for about a week now, and parts of it are coming to life. Parts of it are coming to life. That'd be sick. Okay, that's a cool ass. That's a cool ass little possibility that could happen, but like, it's so far down the road that I don't even know how I would even begin to bring that one up. But that could be cool. At some point, like having Bane rise back up out of the volcano or something like that. Anyway, moving forward. No spoilers in this bitch.
Hello there.
What's going on, Zed? Welcome in. Welcome in. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Happy Friday. Is today Friday? Today is Friday. Hey, is this D&D world we're talking about with MJ Hart? Yes, it is. This is the the D&D world that I was talking about with MJ. We are doing world building at the moment. Doing some history for parts of the world, different regions. Kind of fleshing some of that stuff out. This is a little bit more of the boring part of it on the back end because there's obviously no role playing or anything like that. And it's usually done alone. It's been a little bit more fun with chat here because I can take breaks and talk and do stuff like that. But the main focus is still this. I'm also available for character questions and stuff like that, so I'm just kind of like waiting to hear the Discord join noise go off. But then I remember I have streamer mode on, so if it does go off, I'm not gonna hear it, so motherfuckers can just start talking and scare the shit out of me. But yeah, we are currently working on Nambadir, which is going to be a very kind of like natural disaster, War of the Gods stricken land that the dwarves and halflings and orcs and humans and elves have kind of started to repair and bring some type of infrastructure to. So far we have 2 events on a actual like timeline. We've got the founding and the history, and we've got a druid grove that is local to this place. It's been pretty distant. Lore building is very cool. I find it cool, but I also I know a lot of DMs who have been like, I think people would think it's super boring. And like you'll be sitting at your table, like you'll actually be playing the game, and everybody's like moving so quickly in the moments, and it's just like, damn, if y'all really knew how the sausage got made, like this took me 3 hours to prepare, and like y'all ran through it, like that shit is crazy. And then that you've obviously got like whole parts of campaigns that can be like derailed by like here, I think I could probably find the clip of it and not have any problems. I think, yeah, there we go.
As you all kind of stand there with the hint of like ice glittering, you watch as the surface in which.
So he had planned this encounter, come up with like entire naval combat mechanics and like whole things that they'd be able to do throughout the different thing, and they were essentially fighting on a boat. And because of the create and destroy water and the control water spells, they were able to completely circumvent the entire encounter and not have to fight anything. It's pretty great. It took Matt like 17 hours to come up with all that shit, and they didn't even touch it. And he just rips the paper up in front of all of them. And it's just like, that's shit all pointless now. And they're just like, wait, no, we can do the encounter. We can do the encounter. But no, it is very good. Shivering Queef indeed. Shivering Queef indeed. But no, it is incredibly entertaining to have moments like that where it's just like, I spent so much time working on this and now none of it matters. But I mean, hey, that's just how it goes sometimes. Um I love watching clips from them. I'm at the Umbrasyl fight in campaign 1 for my watch through. Umbrasyl. Umbrasyl is part of the Chroma Conclave. Is Umbrasyl the leader of the Chroma Conclave? If it'd help if I could remember how to spell. And what sucks is you spelt it for me. I suck at typing. No, he's the first dragon they fight. The poison one. You right. You right. I most definitely didn't spell it correctly. That's Orion is still around for that, isn't he? That's the poison dragon that they fight in the. I am currently rewatching it as well, so I'm trying to remember like where I am at and what I've seen. Um, and I'm also trying to remember what's different. Okay, so you are in the Chroma Conclave arc. Okay, I think you might be just a little bit ahead of me then. Might be just a little bit ahead of me. I'm not sure because I can't remember the Umbrasyl fight very well. And I don't think we've gotten to it in my current watch through. Off to get sushi, you lucky bastard. That shit sounds delicious. Be safe. Have a good time. May or may not be here when you get back. I think possibly. Facts. Bring me some. Facts. And then I need Iron Shoulder. I like that. Recently discovered the Tabletop University YouTube channel. It is someone who's DM'd for a long time and shared tips he's done for his campaigns. Seemed pretty informative. So I can't remember his name. That's the wrong platform. I cannot remember his name at all for the life of me. Not Zach the Bard, but he's good too. I've been on a Minecraft kick, so there's a lot of Minecraft shit in my YouTube now. Fuck Orion. Can I say that? I probably shouldn't say that. Oh, I can't remember his name. Is it virtual basement? And I'm. It's not virtual basement. Virtual basement's making that wrestling game, or they were. I don't think they are anymore, sadly. Mystic Arts. That's who it is. This guy right here. He's very good. He makes super informative videos as well. They are still making it. Sweet. But no, he makes very informative videos. He does like world building streams and stuff like that as well. But he does a lot of good content about like his perspective on like scheduling and how to make things run better and how to make things as like good and as good for everybody as possible. Is probably the best way to say it. He does damn near weekly content as well, so it's pretty good. But it's also just like D&D like info videos where it's just like videos about his opinion on why the Forgotten Realms aren't more popular and shit like that. So for somebody who wants to learn more about D&D in general, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good source. He's a good guy. I like his content. And he's got a nice voice. He's got a nice voice as well. And that comes in handy, especially whenever you're just watching somebody's content. It helps if they've got a voice worth hearing. See, now we're getting into like legendary items and shit like that because like this sword is definitely going to be found at some point. Um, found by the Saturday team, maybe, maybe. Ooh, be an item. I think green's already being used for something. School of Magic. Yeah, green's being used for schools of magic. There's a whole ass kid in the next office to me. So I think this would fit as well. The Fury of Bane. It wouldn't be an orc or an orc. It'd be a because orcs wouldn't have gotten there yet. So it would not be an orc yet. Thargic Hammerguard's not bad. Do we have any orcs? I think Joker's an orc. True knowledge. I believe he is, yes. I was wondering why I heard kid's voice. Thought one of the guys had their kid on speakerphone. Look at the little window thing between offices, and his kid was standing there. Oh wait, no, that's not the right one. No, that's not right. Yes, it is. What the fuck? There we go. I like that because it also has like the possibility of like the weapons being cursed or having additional divine grantings that are possible from them. Like the Fury of Bane, for example, being the first weapon smithed in the forge, could definitely have like some super cool like magical abilities that are bestowed upon the right wielder. Like if they're a paladin or whatever, could definitely add some sauce there. We got the next one there, but I gotta go to the bathroom, so I will switch to a BRB screen and be right back.
Why do we play with fire? Why do we run our finger through the flame?
we back. And we back. Now Elven name generator. Don't do me, Google. Don't piss me off. There we go. How we doing, chat? Sorry, I'm a little quiet. I'm trying to focus because this is all stuff that I haven't thought about before, so I'm having to like kind of pull it out of thin air. So I'm sorry for being quiet. Getting to the point where I'm starting to overthink how I'm going to play this campaign out, and my mind is going in a million directions, like looking up how to actually play druids, remaking everyone in Baldur's Gate 3 for a rough outline of how it will go, stupid shit like that. Well, the druids are actually the druid vids are actually helpful. So if you go to D&D Beyond, right, and you go to, and everybody should have access to the player's handbook inherently. You should just have access to it. To my knowledge, they've given everybody the access to the player's handbook. But you can go to character classes, and picking up a hard copy version of it as well, but that works. Hey, I'm never gonna say don't get a hard copy. I'm not gonna stop you from buying resources or anything like that, because if you feel like you need it, then you need it. But it'll go through your druid features and everything that you get at the different levels, but it also they used to have anyway, like a super useful and this is different subclasses. They used to have a super useful part of the fucking player's handbook that was like how to RP as a druid. I don't really care about a druid or about a this could be a decent article to read. I'll go ahead and send it to you because that could be pretty helpful just based off the first couple sentences and stuff like that. Could definitely come in handy. Just thinking. I have no idea if this is available. I was just looking up stuff. But no, they used to have a part where it was like role playing as a druid and like I guess this like druids belong to ancient orders that call into the forces of nature, harnessing the magic of animals, plants, and the four elements. Druids heal, transform into animals, and wield elemental destruction. Revering nature above all, individual druids gain their magic from a nature deity, or both, and they typically unite with other druids to perform rites that mark the passage of a season and other natural cycles. Druids are concerned with the delicate ecological balance that sustains plants and animal life and with the need for people to live in harmony with nature. Druids often guard sacred sites or watch over regions of unspoiled nature, but when a significant danger arises, druids take a more active role as adventurers who combat the threat. Is a decent little, like, beginning to it. I wish they still had the how to fucking RP as a maybe it's in the old. Do I have the old player handbook? Because if I have the 2014 player handbook, it might be in there. I just want own things that I own, please. Thank you. That's the 2024 player's handbook. Is this the module for? Yeah, this is the Stranger Things module, isn't it? Did not know we had that. "2014 Player's Handbook." There we go. There we go. Druids are also concerned with the delicate ability to balance the sustains plant and animal life, and they need people to live in harmony with nature, not an opposite to druids, except that which is cruel in nature, and they hate that which is unnatural, including aberrations such as beholders and mind flayers, and undead to zombies and vampires. Druids sometimes lead raids against such creatures, especially when the monsters encroach on the druids' territory. So the 2014 edition has a little bit more, but still not a bunch, which is kind of sucky, just to be honest. But you know, whatever. Mad unfortunate. We got into this mess, we got test. Someone help us because we're doing our best. Trying to make it work, but damn, these times are hard. Sorry, I'm talking to my brother about the LeBron signing to the Sixers. That ass like disgusting, to be honest. Disgusting. We're going with Talos. We're going with Talos. No, he's the Storm Lord. He's not. I have plans for the Storm Lord. And she's the Queen of the Sea. This is the Wild Mother, isn't it? The Earth Mother. Yeah, so we're going with Chantia. Why did I capitalize the H? I don't need her domain. I need like God of what though? She's the deity of agriculture and plant cultivation. Sweet. Reaching number even 40 years after unification, struggle to provide itself with the necessity of life, able to forge weapons of myth, build grand feats of nature, raise and train great soldiers, but not feed itself. Outside of the divine magics granted by Clogden and Shanto, agriculture and plant cultivation, or god of agriculture and plant cultivation in the work of the Blooming Circle, Nombadur was still mainly scorched earth and hard obsidian or stone. Few places. Ain't no way. I know this man did not post the motherfucking mixtape highlight reel to Meek Mill. I know LeBron ain't post the fucking highlight reel like it's 2012 to Meek Mill. Man. He posted it himself too. Like, it's not even a fan edit. That man posted it himself. Ain't no way, bruh. Ain't no way. Him ending it on the "you thought I was finished"? Like, what are we doing, dog? Like, what is this? Why is this what we're doing? Homie, family, homie. Ten-Toe Trade Council. Don't piss me off. Loris Olera. Fentanyl will provide non-deer with grain, vegetables, wild and domesticated animal meats. We'll even specify like deer, boar, elk, etc. Cow, lamb, sheep, etc. You know. K Ridge and Hatfield. Alcohol till my friend come home for Christmas and I'll each that I might not have, but I did not lose. I tired tracks and one pair of shoes and I split in half. That'll have to do. But I doubt it. She's another sticks. So she forgot that I existed. It's half my fault, but I just like to play the victim. Big, the largest. Bringing new trade opportunities to Namadir in exchange, Tento would ask that Namadir allow soldiers from Tento to train in their academies and provide simple weapons at a specific yearly rate for free, with a price negotiated for anything more expensive. Or requiring more skill to create. All right. So we're kind of getting into now where like Tento and Talon kind of move in, take more of a controlling stake in like the economy and trade of Namadir. Using this trade deal as like a front for like, oh well, you'll have trade opportunity with all these places, but you have to provide us a discount and give us shit for free, and we'll give you food. My back is fucked, and I gotta learn to duck. Used to play ball just a week, now I can't really play that much. Used to drink bottles for pregame, now I can't drink that much. we'll remove Cologne from there because that kind of adds into the Twin Cities and the distance and the beef between them. Goddamn time. What's going on? Hole. Hope you doing. How you doing, brother? Hope you're doing well. Hope it's been a good day. Hope you're vibing out. Hope work hasn't been too bad. Hope the content grind is going crazy. Hope you've been well as well, brother. We're just doing some world building for D&D right now. And then right here, I want to specify what that is. Because if I don't specify it now, I will forget what the hell it is. Check Discord, making sure I'm not missing anything. We good. Bad. Okay. And then bullet points. I don't know why a country would have a need for lockpicks. So maybe not lockpicks. What the fuck's happening? Okay, there we go. 100 short swords, 100 long swords, 100 daggers, 50 great swords, 50 warhammers, 50 great axes, as well as 50 sets of smithing tools, 200 horseshoes. What else would a blacksmith make? 2,000 nails. Region of non-durable export: 100 short swords, 100 long swords, 100 daggers, 50 great swords, 50 warhammers, 50 great axes, as well as 50 sets of smithing tools, 200 horseshoes, and 2,000 nails over the course of each year following to the region of Tento. Tento in return will ensure a constant flow of resources like grain and vegetables from Hassfield, meats from K Ridge, and spices from Dejaris are delivered to the port, delivered to Nambadir on a weekly basis. On a weekly basis. Port cities. Okay. So this is where we get into more like the economical, actual like trade shit, where it's just like, damn, this is kind of a little complex to think about, a little boring maybe. But hey. So the first part, region dominator will export 100 short swords, 100 long swords, 100 daggers, 50 great swords, 50 warhammers, 50 great axes. Does my guy even know how to read treaties? 50 sets of smithing tools, 200 horseshoes, and 2,000 nails over the course of each year following to the region of Tento. Tento, in return, will ensure a constant flow of resources like grain and vegetables from Hassfield, meats from K Ridge, and spices from Dejaris are delivered to Namdir's port cities on a weekly basis, as well as sending caravans and traders through Talon to Nambadir to provide these goods to the southern parts of Nambadir faster. Badir will allow soldiers and students from Tento to train in their military academies, as well as Badir will allow soldiers and students from Tento to train in their military academies. Number allow soldiers and students from Tento to train in the military academies, as well as learn from their skilled laborers like smiths and carpenters. In return, Tento So essentially, it's just we'll send you food, you send us weapons, you let us train soldiers, we'll help you with magic. Is what the Olera Treaty is. And then we will have Lensa K. Farron. I fuck with that. Weakness from my guys. Farron's Academy. But I want everybody to notice they will provide students from their schools of magic. People from Nambadir won't be allowed to go study in Tento, but they will provide their own students from Tento to Nambadir, while Nambadir is allowing students from Tento into Nambadir. You kind of super high numbers for things that they have to deliver. Nowhere here does it say that they are going to pay for the food. It just says they are going to make sure that it is sent to the borders and sent to the cities. It does not say that they're going to provide it. Ladies, they know I need faith. Right mind, escape. I'm running in the world so dark. Check the dreams and break the charge. I need no one. I'm trying to think of the right word. Louis, just rolling with them Brooklyn boys. Haunted my mom. Oh, Christmas. Mm. Two older brothers, one who one good. Independent of the sister, got me almost good. But no, I mean, does your guy even know how to read treaties? That's a good question. That is something that you should think about. It really depends on like backstory and how he grew up and shit like that. Like a sixth sense. Since my father died, I ain't been right since. So the universe, the shrooms, just so I can see the universe. Up at night, illuminate my room, and soon I'm soon mama doom. Body gave fuck, been done in my coffin, cut alcohol in the womb. My intelligence score, to be honest, I'll see what happens. I feel like it's not something we have to worry about as much. Oh yeah, no. I mean, definitely letting it depend on your intelligence scores and stuff like that, and like letting your stats kind of tell the story of your character as well, is a good ass idea, in my opinion. I think that it adds a lot of depth. Because if your character has a low wisdom or a low intelligence, it only makes sense for them to not make the most intelligent decisions. Just in my opinion. Um, It was a pretty flower. He might not know how to read, but he can tell you which berry will make you sick. Hey, that's druid shit. Like I never learned how to read, but I know the earth. I'm down. That's a big part of it. That's a vibe. I'm here for it. The ruling family of Tentos saw an opportunity to expand their purview and further sink their roots in the foundation of Nomadir. In the founding of this school, they would now have more control over who and what was being taught to people of Nomadir, as well as more closely monitor the actions of the churches of Clangdon and Shantua, as well as the Blooming Circle. I put a period there, goddammit. I put a period there. Work. Keep spitting them, it all work out. Okay, I need a brain break. So let's find something to watch. D&D related, quick, something easy, not me. Um,
Hi everyone, I'm Brianna and welcome to Roll Initiative. And today we're going to be talking about a few fun things that you can try to help improve your roleplay.
if you're still around, sounds good, Drew. Have fun at the gym. Have a good time.
More fun. So let's get started.
Small D&D supporter or small D&D
this
creators,
first
I like
one
it.
may seem a little counterproductive, but hear me out. Play a character that you're not as fond of. You make a lot of characters when you play D&D, And generally, you make them all as best you can, and you really like all of them. But when you play a character that you're not as worried about when they look like a fool, or you're not so worried about doing crazy stuff with them, then you can have a
What the hell is
surprisingly
this?
large amount of fun. At least for me, when I play a character that I'm really fond of, I don't want them to seem like a fool, or I don't want to do particularly crazy stuff with them. And when you care about your character,
So far, I disagree with that. I think if you care too much about how your character is perceived, when there's no reason for it, like if you're a paladin, obviously it matters how your character is perceived. If you're a cleric, your reflection on the relationship with your god and the reflection that your actions have on your church, those matter. Very few other characters, other than like monks, if they have a monastery that they go to. If you have like orders and stuff like that that you've already kind of put yourself in your backstory that are important and are going to seem that way, then yeah, how you're perceived by the world is definitely important. But in the grand scheme of things, it's really not that big of a deal. And I personally can't say that I've ever been in a situation playing as a character where I was like, oh, I really like this character, so I don't want people to think they're an idiot. Um, I more so think that letting your stats kind of tell the story and letting the dice tell the story and shit is a better call. But that's just me personally.
you kind of worry that what happens to them reflects on you. And I think that's one reason that some people are a bit hesitant to roleplay. They're worried about looking foolish. But if you play a character that you don't mind them looking foolish, then you're going to have a lot of fun, it's going to feel a lot more free, and you're going to be able to try things out, experiment, and go a bit crazy. I'd suggest doing this on a couple session campaign, maybe a 3-shot. I wouldn't suggest trying this out on a long campaign, but it can be so much fun for a short campaign. And once you've tried it out and you've seen how fun it can be to play characters like this, then you might play the characters that you really care about in a more relaxed sort of way. Honestly, I think there are plenty of good ways to roleplay, but I think trying this can really change how you view your characters and how you roleplay. I think it's definitely an eye opener, and I really had a lot of fun trying this, and I think it's definitely worth giving a shot. Now, this next one is quite well known and already talked about a lot, but I thought I would include it in my video because I really, really enjoy this. And I think even if a lot of people know about it, there's a lot of people who haven't tried it yet. And I think it really, really makes roleplay more fun. And that's collaborating with another player with your characters. If you
I
work
agree with
together
that.
with another player to have your characters know each other, it can be really, really fun.
I agree with that. Having a collaborative backstory and having things that tie you to your party that you guys can kind of interact with and know before the campaign even starts and before you ever like get into the nitty gritty of shit. That can be super fun. It can be super helpful. It can also be a great way for experienced players to help out new players. Um, just because like for example with Rad's campaign that we're doing, DK, he's not very experienced in D&D, so I said that I would take kind of like have my character take him under his wing, and we have created a backstory where we've met before the campaign starts and where we've got that established relationship already. So that in moments where he's not sure how to react in RP, or in moments where he's not sure what he needs to be doing, he can kind of look to my character and it doesn't look like him asking for help. It looks like his character asking for help, just to kind of add that extra layer of security for him so that there was no room to like really get like insecure or embarrassed or anything because he didn't know the right answer or because he made a mistake or whatnot.
Fun right off the bat. If your characters used to know each other, then it'll be a whole lot easier to start role playing, even if you've only just started the game. Because if your characters know each other, you have a history. If you have talked with the other player about how they knew each other, what their relationship is, and all that sort of stuff, then you've already got a base on how these characters interact. and that really helps to kickstart the roleplay between your two characters. And throughout the game, it can be so much fun to have a shared backstory with someone. It makes the game feel so much more collaborative, and you feel like you have a connection to this other person at the table from the very start. And I think that is really, really neat, and I think it's definitely worth trying out. And I think it can really improve your roleplay and make roleplay feel a whole lot easier. And I think it's definitely worth trying out if you haven't done this before. Now, another thing that I think makes roleplay really fun is to try out doing some voices. And I know not everyone likes to do voices.
I agree with that as well. Giving your character a voice or something that can help you like root yourself in the character definitely helps, because then it also helps whenever you're talking above table. People know that if you're using your real voice, you're not your character right now, you're you. And then if you're using your character's voice, you're your character. So it helps a lot with that regard, but it also, like I said, it helps you root into your character, lock in as your character, get in to the mindset of the character, and kind of like further remove yourself from the character that you are actively playing. Because sometimes it can be very difficult to kind of have that separation, and I think that's a super good thing to have, is the separation between character and player. Because lines can get skewed, and people can think that people are trying to target them, or that things are going on that are making it to where it's just like, no, I just don't want you here, and that's just not the case. There have been plenty of times where it's just like, are you mad at me? And it's like, no, you pissed off the character, so the character's pissed off. Like, that's just how it works.
But almost everyone can do voices. And sometimes, if you haven't tried them before, but you've just assumed you won't like them, or you're a bit too nervous to try, they can be so much fun. And honestly, they're not that hard to do, and you don't have to do accents or anything to do a character voice. And if you don't know how to do voices, then I have a video where I show you how to do some really simple ones without accents or any of that stuff. And I'll link it up in the cards in case you want to check it out. But doing voices can be really fun. I know they're not for everyone, but I think they're worth trying. Even if you want to go off on your own for a while, somewhere where you won't be overheard, and just talk to yourself, practice some different voices, and see if you can do any that you like. I personally think that it's a lot of fun. I am not a voice actor and I am not a professional, but I have a lot of fun doing them. And I think that it really improves my experience at the table. And if you have never tried it before, I'd suggest trying to give it a go. It can be a lot of fun, and you'll never know unless you try. Now, one thing, if you haven't tried most of this before, is that you still have to practice. If you want to get good at roleplay, then you do need to practice. No amount.
Yeah, I mean, practice makes perfect. We all know that. That's fairly simple. Best way to get better at it is to do it. It is super easy to get into, super hard to master. Okay. Watched a quick little video. Now let's get back to the action. Let's get back to the shits. Going on, Nelly? Welcome back, brother. How's your sushi? Hope that shit is good. Hope that shit is hitting, my boy. And then I actually need to think about ending so I can eat dinner and then hop on the Minecraft stream later. And then now that we're farther in the timeline, Parnbub. Parnbub. Gorbash Academy. Damn, not the Cloud City. Not the Cloud City notification. No. I gotta get rid of that shit, sadly. Especially by Sunday, because I gotta get one made for Groove and all that shit. R.I.P. Cloud City. We love and we miss you. I was really hoping to get Nambadir completely done today. I don't know if I'll get that far. We've gotten a decent amount in though. Gorbash. Urag. There we go. It also clears up why other academies aren't mentioned in the history and shit like that, because this one took it over. And so now we've got Tento having governing power over a specific region of Nambadir, making it to where like the kind of like the hostile takeover and the seat for power and control can kind of be enacted and referenced there because they started taking control and seeking power. Okay. We're 242, 609, maybe eat dinner. Okay. We are going to find somebody to raid out to, guys. Just because I need to go make dinner and get ready to stream Minecraft. I know a lot of the people who are going to be on Minecraft tonight as well for the SMP are going to be on soon, and I want to be on and around and active when everybody else is, so that we can get content out of it and have interactions and stuff like that. So I'm gonna find somebody to raid out to, so I'm not behind schedule for that. Because if I sit here and keep playing or keep writing and stuff, I will probably not leave at a good time. That's not where I need to be. I need to be here. So let's find somebody to raid. Preferably not somebody in just chatting, because I don't really know a lot of people in just chatting. Cretan's live. Stone's live. Lily's live. Joker's live. Joker's live. Let's go show Joker some love, y'all. Let's go show Joker some love. I will be back later. We will be on Minecraft. We will be doing the SMP, or we will be doing the modded server. I'm not sure. Thank you guys for stopping in. Thank you all for the input and the advice and the ideas. Thanks for the conversation. I'm hoping to do this more often, because I did actually enjoy this pretty well, and I think it'll help me get the ball rolling a little bit more with world creation, because we do need to get that done, because I'm hoping to be starting by the end of August. So I'm hoping to get this shit going. I am going to start the raid. You guys go show Joker some love. Make sure to interact with the chat. Make sure to talk to him. Make sure to blow that shit up. Give him a good time. He is a super good guy. He's a part of Respawn United. He's a part of the SMP. I don't know if he plans on playing very consistently. But yeah, you guys have a good one. Keep on smiling. I will talk to you guys in probably about an hour.
I am nothing but an honest man, so that is what they got. However, I am getting word from backstage, ladies and gentlemen, that Radford Oak